I'm sorry I'm a day late with this. I know I like to get these done for you on Sunday. My Sunday was crazy. I just couldn't get it done. So today is Monday. It's a holiday, Labor Day, so whatever. But anyway, I'm getting this done for you today, okay? Couple of things. Those of you who posted your essays in a timely manner in general did a pretty darn good job with them, okay? You're getting the idea of what we're looking for. You explained the concept of plot pretty well, okay? So that's good. And A Rose for Emily is not a simple story. There's so much that goes on in there. And so, you do have to be willing to kind of put the pieces together, and most of you were able to do that. Most of you missed the point, by the way, that Homer preferred the company of men. Okay? What does that mean? He was gay. So imagine now, Emily is constantly struggling for not acceptance in this community, but to be somebody kind of significant, And so imagine how humiliating it would be if after spending the Sunday afternoons riding around in the buggy with Homer, and everybody sees her with Homer, you find out Homer is gay. Oh my goodness, okay? So she wanted to marry Homer. She wanted Homer. So when she finds out that Homer doesn't want her, she's she's going to have Homer, okay? So she kills him and has him forever. Okay, so enough of that. So you did a good job on plot, and I put a question in here, and most of you answered that question. Not good. Most of you answered that question and answered it correctly, so that is good. A few of you did not answer the question, which says to me they didn't watch the video, and so that's going to hurt their grade. Okay, little doubt about that. So you got to do that. Okay. This week we're moving on to the idea of character, and what do I mean by character? Well, the people in the stories, but what about them? Well, it's character development. Okay, and what does character development mean? We all develop as characters. We change. None of us is the same person we were 5 years ago. Okay? We have all changed because every experience that we have causes us to change a little bit, to be a little bit different as a person. We kind of grow from every experience, or we can shrink from experiences, right? It can cause us to lose some confidence, whatever. So we might shrink from experiences too. But that's what character development is all about. Now, within the course of a novel, 200, 300, 400,000 page book, characters have a long time to grow. We see characters undergo a lot of stuff, and very often we see characters who are quite different at the end of a work than they were at the beginning of a work. Okay? But in a short story, we don't necessarily have all of that going on. Many times in a short story, we're talking about a really small period of time. And so we may or may not have the opportunity for a character to change. There may not be things that happen, experiences that change that character. Okay? However, there may be experiences that change characters. Characters can change over the course of even a short story. And what does that mean? The character is not the same at the end of the story as they were at the beginning of the story. Something has happened, or some things have happened to change that person. We have two primary categories of characters. There are characters who are dynamic. They are alive. They do change. And then there are characters who are static. And those are characters who are static. They're stuck. They're right there. They don't change. Okay? In the lesson this week, I gave you a number of subsets, especially of static characters. So there are different kinds of static characters, and to some degree there are different kinds of dynamic characters too. Okay? So be aware of that. It's not just static or dynamic. but there are different kinds, and that's in the lesson that I gave you, and it's also in the pages in the book that I put down for you in the lesson. Okay. There are 3 short stories that you're going to read this week, and one of them is the birthmark. All of you are going to write about the characters in the birthmark, and then each of you is also going to write about one of the other 2 stories, whichever you want, okay? And you'll be talking about how characters do develop or do not develop. So do we see character change or do we not see character change, okay? The Birthmark by Nathaniel Hawthorne is a pretty heavy-duty story. I like Hawthorne a lot. This story is very interesting, and it'll be up to you to decide whether or not characters change or not. Now, when we talk about character change, we don't really mean physical change. You know, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, are they a different person? And if they're a different person, if something has caused them to be a little bit different of a person, are they less confident or more confident? Are they more submissive or less submissive? Are they strong-willed or have they lost their strong will? Or have they developed a strong will? Okay, so that's what character development is all about. Does it happen or does it not happen? In Birthmark, there is a helper in the lab. Okay, there's a science basis to this. There's a helper in the lab, and what I want you to do, the question I have for you is this: I want you to take that helper's name and write it out in reverse, okay? And then tell me whether or not you agree that that is an appropriate name for him, okay? So is the helper's name, when it's turned around, appropriate for him, okay? So that's the question for you this week. So now, you need to get your essays posted on time, and you need to go in the next day and give your reactions, okay? That way I get time to get that stuff together, and then I can make a video that I can talk about some of that stuff with you on first of all. So that's kind of fair to me. Feel free to post your video to post your essay as early as you want. And have a good week. Questions, you know where to get me. Okay? Have a good one.